best you're gonna get right here, bro.
Right here? Yeah. Okay. Is so two deceased, right?
I'm not supposed to give out any information right now.
I got you. It's an ambush. They're doing their job. So we're gonna get out of the way. I have to get to my house this way. They're closing everything off, guys, so stay away from Balboa. Well, I think my vehicle might be stuck now where I'm at, but yes. So there is an active shooter inside this mosque right now.
What? Inside a mosque?
2 of them were deceased. I heard over a radio, but they are not giving out any information. Guy was just over across the street. One of the police officers, I thought he was gonna like take me down just for walking over there. Don't know who it is so far. No, this is active, guys. This is active. Look, they have, let me see if I can show you without getting yelled at again. Then I want to get back by the radio so we can hear. They have the entire street. More cops than I've ever seen, guys, over here. All the way up.
Wow.
Here, let's get closer to the radio, guys, so we can kind of hear what's happening. Because I can't get any closer to that mosque. They have it locked out. Right now, they're just trying to control the people. So we're going to get out of the way. So where I can stay close enough without annoying these officers so they at least let me stay here. Yeah, show up. I mean, get as much coverage from you can from different angles. Show up, man. I mean, if you can get over here, there are cops. Literally, I think every cop in San Diego is over here. So, I mean, I have 2 questions. Either this is happening while they're trying to get all the cops in one place and distract us from something else.
All right, what's up, everybody? Welcome. We switched over to cover another live event that's happening now in San Diego, California. As you can see, there's a whole bunch of cops. Looks like maybe a Bearcat, maybe SWAT, fire rescue response. They're saying reportedly an active shooter at an Islamic center in San Diego. If you could please share it out, help share it out, spread the news. They're telling people to avoid the area. This guy said supposedly there's somebody still inside of the Islamic center. So I'm going to try to find more information as it comes because it's literally just breaking now. The San Diego Police Department said that SDPD is on scene at the Islamic Center of San Diego. It's at the 7000 block of X Storm Avenue. And they said more updates to come. And then I saw the mayor apparently had also said something. I'm trying to find it right now. Mayor of San Diego, I think. I'm going to find it out.
Tried to go over there, and I thought one of the officers was going to take me down.
Over there?
He totally got me out of there.
Be safe. Okay. They're saying several victims amid active shooter situation. Several victims are saying.
Who's K3C? Let's try to get a different angle. Oh, they're setting up a staging area here, guys. Yeah. Let me stay out of the way. This is why we're staying out of there so they don't kick us out. We've gotten a lot more leeway than some of these other people so far. So. Wow. I think my truck might be boxed in though. I might be stuck here for the day, guys. Yeah, you know, this is crazy as far as the local news. They're not going to give any information out to any of the news media until this is wrapped up and done. So, even...
It's really the only activity we're seeing is just the one.
Inside the mosque.
Wow.
As of now, I can confirm 2 deceased, and it sounds like an officer was also shot.
What?
You know, yeah, I that's all I have, guys. I tried to get closer to the mosque, but you know, they keep taping all this out. So we're gonna stay out of the way. That guy was trying to say something. Yes. At the mosque. You know, it's interesting because I've lived over here for the past 15 years.
Might have a live
Had that
news for
feeling
you.
in my gut.
Oh yeah. Okay.
You know,
Thank you for that information. Get it up here. The link. NBC, I think, is out there. Get an aerial view. Thank you, CV.
So we don't know if the active shooter is involving one or more people. We're working to confirm that information as well. And this is an all-hands response that we are seeing or witnessing along with you from Sky Ranger 7 with armored vehicles, law enforcement and tactical gear, multiple squad cars. Our Shondell Maniz is on the ground in the Clairemont area. Shondell, let's toss it out to you. What are you seeing from your vantage point there in Clairemont?
So much. First, let's show you the overpass over the 805. I've never seen so many squad cars in one place. Dozens of them. We could just slowly pan. We're standing from Lindbergh Park here over and over and over before we get to the Islamic Center here. But also in the park, I've been standing with a bunch of neighbors, a bunch of witnesses, people that were going about their day before all of this commotion started. Ma'am, tell me your name.
Karen?
And tell me what you've seen so far. What you know.
My son-in-law had just pulled into the driveway on his motorcycle, and less than a minute later, all these police officers started flying past the house. And I said, what's going on? He goes, I don't know. I said, I wonder if there's a shooting at the mosque. And I said, what's... Hence. So then, easy, 150 police cars have shown up here. So I called my friend who's a fireman, and he said, yeah, there's a shooting. Supposedly, someone walked up, showed a weapon to the security guard. Security guard pulled his weapon. They started firing, and from there, this is what I know. I know SWAT showed up, and this is what's going on since then.
And you've been standing here for how long? How quickly did all of this unravel?
Less than 10 minutes ago. And I mean, you want to see showmen of police officers. 1 minute, my son-in-law had just come through there, and there wasn't any. And 1 minute after he pulled into the driveway, it has been non-stop show of police officers.
Wow. And where's your son-in-law right now?
Still back at the house.
Okay, just a little bit down the block?
Yeah, I came down to check on my neighbor because she has kids down there at the other school that's on lockdown also. So all the schools in Balboa are on lockdown.
Okay.
And so we're just more worried about the kids and anybody else being hurt. But hopefully it's been shut down to a minimum.
Yeah. Okay, is there anything else that you know, anything else you've seen?
What you see is what I know from now right here.
Okay. Thank you so much, Karen.
You're very welcome.
Thank you so much. So much commotion is the
Yeah, it
best
looks like
way
the
that I
place
can
is being
think to describe
surrounded.
what I'm seeing right now with the chopper, with all of the people, with all of the squad cars buzzing by. Now I know that there are some schools on lockdown. We've been allowed to come this close, but not any closer because we were told so far it's not completely clear. So as soon as I send it back to you, I'm going to go and try to get some more information about where things stand right now.
Okay, Shondell, we appreciate the update, and our hearts and prayers are with everyone in that neighborhood and the situation that is unfolding. We will certainly check back with you We have been able to confirm that according to the Bright Horizon Academy's website, there is a pre-K through third grade Islamic school at this location. As we get a look from Sky Ranger 7 at the situation underway, confirmed active shooter, reported active shooter situation underway, according to San Diego police. We are hearing that San Diego police has tweeted this reported active shooter situation. We have also confirmed with the San Diego Police Watch Commander what is underway and what to call it here, although we have been given no indication that this situation is under wraps here or that any active shooter has been taken into custody. So you can see that there is quite a huge police presence surrounding the San Diego Islamic Center. We also have heard in a tweet from the mayor, the San Diego mayor, Todd Gloria, has been made aware of the situation. We, of course, have several news crews in the area. Shondell Maniz, you just heard from, talking to residents who are being urged by San Diego police to shelter in place as the situation, we understand, is still developing and not under control at this hour. Has been going on for probably going on about 30 minutes. We were on the air just shortly after this was happening, and all of these squad cars, armored patrols, SWAT teams in tactical gear are converging on the San Diego Islamic Center as we have seen children holding hands, being escorted hurriedly outside the San Diego Islamic Center to safer locations. We have not been made aware yet whether anyone has been injured or potentially killed. Certainly our hope is that they're able to get the situation under control safely and swiftly, but we are finding out a lot of this along with you. Taking a look at some of the information that's coming across my feed right now as our news team is sending us updates from everyone they're talking to. But a lot of this you're going to be able to see along with us as we are watching just through different vantage points and with our news crews fanned out around the Clairemont area, trying to figure out exactly what is happening here at the San Diego Islamic Center. Pardon us as our Sky Ranger goes to black. This is a map of the San Diego Islamic Center. We've been telling you, if you're just tuning in though, an active shooter situation underway focused on the San Diego Islamic Center that is there on Ekstrom Avenue. And there where the pin is, you can see this is the location we're talking about, to the south of Balboa, to the west of the 805. Many homes in this area. This is a densely populated neighborhood with the Islamic Center right there closest to Balboa, and this is why San Diego police have shut down portions of this road.
Paz said that someone in the chat said her husband works across the street. You overheard 5 active shooters, unconfirmed. Okay, take it with a grain of salt, but the person that was on Citizen had said that he had heard multiple people too. You know, I don't know. I mean, the lady said the one thing that the news is saying that somebody walked in there, walked up to security, showed their gun, and the security pulled out their gun too. These churches and places of worship, everybody has to be armed now at these places because you don't know what's going to go down, what's going to happen.
And so many questions that we have at this hour that our news crews are seeking answers to, both from here in the newsroom, over the phones, also there on the ground, talking to residents, talking to first responders without trying to compromise the situation that is in progress, and certainly keeping a safe distance from whatever is happening there at the Islamic Center. We do not know the details of what has transpired. Our Allison Ash was one of the first to arrive on scene there. We know that she has the latest for us right now. Allison, what can you tell us?
Well, I got to tell you, we can't even get close to the scene. We are actually on Balboa Avenue. Just for perspective, the H Mart is over here to my right. The Awaken Church.
We lose him? Was that me? I think we lost him. Let me see if we can get another source. Or I can put up this in the meantime.
With the injured. Now we're going to try to move in as well, guys. We can see SWAT now. They are, looks like they're leaving. Here guys, let's move.
Más detalles, vemos mucho movimiento, es una escena activa.
Man, they switched to Telemundo now. We got to Telemundo.
Más autoridades, vemos a los oficiales armados.
Bienvenido a Telemundo. I see a couple of feeds here. See what we got. Chopper feed. I see some chopper feeds. Okay. Chopper feed. It's a little choppy, but we got some chopper feed. Even though this one looks good, though, what they have there. Let's do this. Oh, they switched. Okay, they switched. Chopper feed.
By us, lights and siren, trying to get here. So again, not able to get any direct information. We can only tell you what we can see from this point. But what we can see, I have to say, does not look good.
Yeah, Allison, we're getting the same impression, even though we have limited information at this hour. The entire area shut down, and we're looking right overhead at Sky Ranger 7 right now. Certainly unsettling, to say the least. Concerning, and I know that police are telling people to shelter in place. Allison, are you still with us? Can you still hear me?
I can hear you.
Are you hearing any direction there on scene from first responders, like from a loudspeaker or anything telling people to shelter in place or anything of the sort?
Again, we're on the other side of the freeway, so we're not where we would hear that. You would be hearing that on the other side. What I have seen is a number of people running in that direction. One man just ran by us, and so as people are hearing information about what's happening over on that side, we're seeing people jogging over the freeway overpass trying to get close. I'm guessing they're going to be turned away when they get down there. When we have a chance, we'll head down there and see how far we can get. But with this kind of police response, I have a feeling it's going to be a while before we are able to get anywhere near the scene.
Please keep a safe distance. We will certainly check back to see what you are learning, what you are hearing and seeing. But we are praying for everyone on the other side of that police barrier right now, and certainly would caution anyone against running toward the scene right now, as the images that we are seeing up above the San Diego Islamic Center do not appear to be, by any extent, a secure by these situation. Police officers. They are positioned in tactical gear with armor.
Somebody sent me a video of somebody with their, let's just say something that I can't show on live, but wow. I'll have to post it on Discord. We're checking out the sea, covering this public interest, public safety, public news commentary situation happening live. They're saying to avoid this area, mass police response. They say the Clairemont Mosque. People have lost their minds. This is live feed from a helicopter. They had said multiple victims. Let me see what else. What's the latest? Todd says at least 2 people deceased. He's calling it mass casualty. Oh, let's check out the scanner too. We should check out. Let's see what's going on there, because maybe we'll get information what's going on in real time with the police. 8,000 people listening. Let's check it out.
Metro, confirm your response. Medic 1.
Metro, medic.
Nice, that's affirmative.
Metro, San Miguel, just 16, just responding.
Challenge is 16, responding. Copy, we'll be there. Thank you.
I see, Medic 30, we're seeing at 7154 Salerno.
Gala engine 16 and Medic 32, please switch to 9 Alpha 9 Bravo for vehicle rescue.
Copies, 9 Alpha 9 Bravo. I see, country unit leader. 8 Echo.
No, for that's affirmative. You're clear to stop by 40s. Medical aid 6888 Golf Crest Drive, some Echo 7 Fox Drive.
Medic 17.
Engine 51's District, Battalion 1, Vehicle Rescue, 9 Alpha, 9 Bravo, 8086 Skyline Drive, Eiffel House, Cross Streets, Green Lawn Drive, and Gribble Street. Battalion 1, 9 Alpha, 9 Bravo.
That's affirmative. You can head towards your station.
Right, go ahead. B6 treatment unit. Tied in with engine 9. We do have a plan. Sounds like ambulances will be coming from your area, westbound on Balboa, if we have any patients that need to be transported. We have a treatment area set up, triage, and NetCom are all coordinated. You want me to contact you on this channel, or is 8 Echo? Go ahead and switch over to 8 Echo. And on 8 Echo, just want to do a radio check, make sure you copy. Mike, go ahead.
Now, what channel do you want us on?
RTF1, I'm going to move you over to 8 Echo, and I'm going to assign you to talk directly to Battalion 6 on 8 Echo. Break, Battalion 6 from IC.
Engine 7, Medical, 7 Echo, 7 Foxtrot, 1615th Street, Palmer Vital Center, Unit Lobby, Cross Streets, Commercial Street, and Imperial Avenue. Engine 7, 7 Echo, 7 Foxtrot.
Okay.
It's off of it. 6 from the
Engine 51's District, Engine 51, Vehicle Rescue, 9 Alpha, 9 Bravo, 8086 Skyline Drive, Eiffel House, Cross Streets, Green Lawn Drive, and Gribble Street. Engine 51, 9 Alpha, 9 Bravo.
But again, nobody has really left, so to speak. They have left the area of the mosque and walked back towards their vehicles.
And Marianne, as you're talking to us, we're getting a wide shot here from Sky Ranger 7. We can see exactly the location you're talking about to the east there. We're looking here south, or excuse me, west would be toward the bottom of your screen. We are looking east along Balboa, straight down here at the mosque. You can see all that police activity that Marianne was describing and kind of the blockade that's positioned over the 805 that, of course, runs north and south. We are still watching some of those armed first responders go building to building. So even though Marianne is kind of articulating a sigh of relief or maybe less urgency than there was initially, it does look like the tactical operation is still in progress. They are certainly keeping this entire area shut down, asking neighbors to shelter in place. And Marianne, I think the information that we have just not heard yet and we're working to get is what happened inside the mosque there. Right. And are there injuries? Are there casualties? Are the shooter or shooters, have they been either taken into custody or taken down? And I think those are the major questions right now that so many parents want to know. As the Bright Horizon Academy's website reports, there's a pre-K through third grade Islamic school at this location. Marianne, where are you? Are you off Balboa, or where are you exactly positioned? Are you still in your vehicle?
No. I left my vehicle a long time ago when I heard the sirens, and I heard them go by in a way that I have not heard in a really long time. So I am literally at the off-ramp to the 805 south. At Balboa. And so that was when and this is where most of the law enforcement vehicles are amassed, lined up in the middle of the street, on the sidewalk, on either side, and then there's this big wide section, and then it starts again down to where the mosque is. So I was headed in that direction till I was stopped, obviously. Okay. So I think maybe Allison, if she's on the other side, might have a better idea. But I can't even see the end of where these law enforcement vehicles are ending here. I mean, even if I stand on my tiptoes, the flashing lights, the blue, the yellow, and it's really a very alarming scene, if you will, but It's not one. I think it looks like they at least here where I'm standing, things seem to be calmer.
And you know what, Marianne, we are getting, it looks like one of the producers has passed along something from San Diego Police saying that the scene there at 7050 Ekstrom Avenue, which is the San Diego Islamic Center, is active but contained. And that is exactly what Marianne is describing and what we can concur that we are seeing along with her as we see these first responders go building to building, active but contained. Police say they have significant resources on the scene at this time. This is important for any parents or anyone with loved ones at the Islamic Center. Police have established a reunification center at 4125 Hathaway Street. 4125 Hathaway Street is the reunification location. And we have seen a number of young children, presumably part of that K through third grade program there at the Islamic Center, be escorted hand in hand. Terrifying, super frightening situation for these young people to have to experience today. But escorted out of the building with armed guards and with their, teachers and other support staff there as the Islamic Center. So the reunification center is now at 4125 Hathaway Street as we still work to confirm what has happened inside this mosque there.
Let me try this other one. Maybe you're trying to tell me to listen to this. Let's see. To get back to the other one. So yeah, massive response, guys. Huge response. We're saying avoid the area. San Diego, California.
Go ahead. Rescue Task Force 1 is engine 36. Rescue Task Force 2 is engine 27. Rescue Task Force 3 is also with us there, truck 28. Let me know if you have any needs. I'll be standing by here at Ekstrom and Balboa. Or TF1 copy.
I'm aware of the active shooter situation at the Islamic Center of San Diego in Clairemont, and am continuing to receive updates from law enforcement. Emergency personnel are on scene and actively working to protect the community and secure the area. Along with Mayor Todd Gloria, we are also hearing from Governor Gavin Newsom and his press office, saying in part Gavin Newsom has been briefed on an evolving situation in the Clairemont community of San Diego near the Islamic Center. The governor's Office of Emergency Services is coordinating with local law enforcement. As you know, this is something that all of our law enforcement repeatedly and continuously train for, something they never hoped to have to employ, but today has been a day that they have employed their training, their experience,
Battalion 1 can continue at his discretion.
Metro copies, Battalion 3, you can cancel Battalion 3. Battalion 1, Metro.
Metro Battalion 1 will continue.
Battalion 1, are you going to continue response?
That's a firm copy.
Metro copies.
Truck 14, Skyline, I see. Go for truck 14. Yeah, go ahead and spawn the turn lane right next to 16 in front of my vehicle. You'll be working for a rescue group, which is engine 51. Again, need stabilization equipment and extrication.
So I wonder how many people, how many perps was it?
Copies. And Metro Skyline, I see engine 16 is assumed medical.
And 16 is assuming medical.
On this situation throughout the day as we're able to get some more information. But at this hour, we are somewhat breathing a sigh of relief that the situation has been contained, albeit still active. And you can see just the massive law enforcement presence. They're lined up on Balboa, shutting down those sides. You heard from Allison Ash saying that she saw people running toward the scene, presumably someone with loved ones perhaps here at the Islamic Center in Clairemont. The barricade is keeping people a safe distance from this Islamic Center as they try to, as organized as possible, remove people, including quite a few children, from the Islamic Center of San Diego. And you're seeing here kind of that triangular spot, Ekstrom Avenue there on the right, Balboa on the left, and you can see the 805 topping your screen here, and all of the squad cars lined up to respond to this situation as immediately as possible. Our Shondell Maniz is not far from the situation right now. She's been talking with concerned neighbors. Shondell, what's the latest from your location?
I have a couple more notes for you, Monica. So we just saw, and you may have seen it a couple minutes ago, a long stream of kids being escorted across the street here just a block off of Ekstrom. So we're wondering if maybe that's from the daycare. There are a number of schools we know, Kavod Charter School. I just spoke with the mom there who has a 7 and a 9-year-old there. That school is on lockdown. She said, of course, she's worried. She's scared for her kids, but she's also really scared for everyone that's barricaded in right now. She said she couldn't imagine what they're thinking or how scared they must be. We also know Clairemont Canyon is within the mile radius of where we are now, and that is also on lockdown. But the most kind of heart-stopping thing that I've heard so far is a neighbor telling me that if this had happened at the same time on Friday afternoon, it would have been a completely different story, because from 11 to about 1 p.m., hundreds, if not 1,000 people are here praying. And they are all around. You can't park within 4 blocks of this area. So she's just really, I guess, trying to find a silver lining here, that that's not how busy it is at the moment, because on Friday, that's what we would have been working with and seeing here on Ekstrom and at the Islamic Center. I haven't seen many more squad cars come through yet. Everyone seems to be kind of stationary, even though there are still dozens and dozens and dozens of them. I'm walking around here at the park and trying to get a hold of more neighbors, trying to piece more things together. Haven't heard anything from law enforcement yet or about the status about this very active scene behind me.
Yeah, it's a stressful situation there, Shondell. We appreciate you being there to talk to some of the neighbors and residents, and our thoughts and prayers are with them as we still wait to get word of what has transpired inside that Islamic Center. We will check back with you. I'm also hearing that today marks the start of a holiday period in Islam. It is the new month of Juhul Hijjah. Forgive me if I have mispronounced the name of the holiday, but apparently during the first 10 days of the month, it's recommended to do additional acts of worship. Juhul Hijjah is the name of this holiday period, and so perhaps there was something taking place there at the Islamic Mosque in observance of this. Again, we are still waiting to hear just who the perpetrators were, who, if it was one person or multiple people, if anyone at all has been injured, including law enforcement. These are all questions that we just don't have the answers to right now. And we're watching this along with you. We're gathering information. We're trying not to be disruptive to.
Thank you for the super chat. The Fat Cat says South Bay scanner. Thank you, Mel. Both suspects are 1144 deceased. Okay, thank you. So the Fat Cat is saying that both suspects are deceased according to Scanner Radio.
Yeah, do you guys happen to have YouTube? Can you repeat your topic?
I wonder if the two, because it was being reported earlier that there was at least 2 victims. I wonder if those 2 are the actual suspects.
Repeat your traffic for user 53. We didn't copy your toll request.
It's kind of crazy now, like to be at church, like the whole place has to have security cameras.
RTF1, go ahead.
You got to be armed up to the T. You might need
Speaking with
military.
PD, they're disbanding the rescue task forces. They've cleared the entire building. There's no more victims inside. They're going to cut us loose. Rescue task force group 2, fire copy. Go ahead and return to your Balboa and Charger for reassignment if needed. Break IC from rescue task group supervisor. IC from the rescue task force group supervisor from IC. Are you able to landline me using your cell phone? I'm going to just walk over to you. I'm going to cross the street. Copy.
Oh, security guard for real?
I got
We're gonna have to find
been
out.
extricated. USR 53 is arriving on scene. Do you have
Engine 30. Medical. 7 Echo. 7 Foxtrot. 655 Southern Boulevard. Cold Stone Creamery Southern Boulevard and Palm Ave. Unit behind. Cross Streets, Doris Street, and Palm Avenue. Engine 30. 7 Echo. 7 Foxtrot.
The police say that let's see. They have a reunification center at 4125 Hathaway Street, San Diego, California. And it says that the scene is still active but contained. Active but contained.
It's active right now.
Traffic accident. 7 Hotel, 7 India. 4250 to 4399, Bachman Place. Cross Streets, Arbor Drive, and Hotel Circle South. Engine 8. 7 Hotel, 7 India.
By seeing just how many squad cars have blocked off this area,
Yeah,
but
there's
that
no other needs with the
reunification
truck.
center.
I'll go ahead and release and make it available. Thanks for the assistance.
Copy that. I'll put this available. Thank you. Rescue Task Force Group Supervisor from IC. 8 Echo. Go ahead. On 8 Echo. Rescue Task Force Supervisor from IC. Police Department is saying that the people we need to check on are all outside of the building. Go ahead and have RTF1 go in.
Engine 5. Medical. 7 Echo, 7 Foxtrot. 4457 North Avenue. 4457 North Ave. Cross Streets, Mead Avenue, and Monroe Avenue. Engine 5. 7 Echo.
So it's been reported that let's see here. Officer Anthony Carrasco, who said authorities believe people have been shot during the incident. At the time before, the Islamic Center is the largest mosque in San Diego County. Is situated in a heavily residential neighborhood. Okay, that's it right there.
Yet to be told. And you do see, though, the posture of some of these first responders is certainly different than it was even just 30 minutes ago when we saw them positioning themselves behind vehicles in sort of a defensive, tactical positioning. We see that there is an ambulance there, so we don't know if there are perhaps more people that need to be treated or if those paramedics and EMTs have gone in to assess the situation inside. Certainly if it's cleared, presumably they are able to gain access to all portions of the Islamic Center of San Diego. And certainly creating a ripple effect for traffic in and out of this area. If you are going to the Clairemont area or have plans to be in this area, best to pursue an alternate route because a huge portion of Balboa has been shut down in both directions. And things are slowing in all parts of this neighborhood in Clairemont. And we're talking about the area that is just west of the 805 along Balboa.
Let's see what ABC is saying here.
Law enforcement, and they say they are grateful to first responders. I want to bring in my colleague now, Alex Brachet, who's here with us as we continue this coverage. And Alex, still a lot we've got to learn in what is going on inside that building that you see right here. Police are now saying it is contained. Typically, that would mean that it is no longer an active threat, but they say it is still very active. What's going on right now?
Yeah, Alex, certainly still a lot of questions there. It is now the top of the hour. I'm Alex Brachet from Washington, and as my colleague Alex Stone just mentioned, we are continuing to following this breaking news out of San Diego, where police say they are responding to a reported active shooter at the Islamic Center of San Diego. You're looking at live images right there from our affiliate KGTV. Multiple officers are on the scene. At one point, we saw them leading people out of that building. The city's mayor saying that emergency personnel are actively working to protect the community and secure the area. And I will say it's probably hard to see from this vantage point, but this is the largest mosque in San Diego County. Its history, it's had a large security presence around it. It's surrounded by a fence and has had heightened security over the last couple of decades. But I want to bring in a retired FBI agent, Brad Garrett, who I know has been tracking this with us. And Brad, I know you were.
They're saying that the children are safe. Thank you, Leo, for tagging me. For the kids, I guess, being escorted out or away.
Defensive posture, the long guns pointed toward the mosque, etc., behind vehicles to keep themselves potentially safe, but not moving toward the mosque. Now that tells me they don't have enough information to move toward the mosque. That apparently has changed based on recent pictures. So they have at least enough information to go into the mosque and start searching for if it's a shooter or more than one person or whatever the situation is, that by using the word contained, it looks like they've got at least the threat part of this resolved from a shooter standpoint. That doesn't mean the building's safe yet until they search it. But it'll be real interesting to know why it sort of has taken as long as it did before they went in the building. I can just tell you based on experience, it's because you didn't have enough information. And if you go into the school, in this case the mosque, or the school inside the mosque, you can make it worse. You could start a shootout with somebody. You could cause somebody, a civilian or a child, to be harmed. So you just wait. You don't wait a long time, but you wait long enough till you feel comfortable enough that you can go in, which it appears they're at that point as we speak.
Yeah. Well, and I want to bring in my colleague Alex Stone on this, too. He's been tracking this afternoon. One of the complications here is we know this mosque is also home to a school, some 300 students across two campuses. We know it's a pre-K through third grade. That's also something that was playing out here as police were trying to respond.
That's right. And Alex, early on, we saw images of what looked like children being led out hand in hand. I mean, one of the most heartbreaking things that you're going to see when there's an active shooter like this is if it is at a school, and to see young children coming out, no doubt scared. They're being led by armed officers who are in their uniforms. Right here, you see these images where police are going to try to put their long guns down if they can and try to be as non-intimidating to the children as they can be, and then to get them out, leading them out in that single file line right there. We don't know if any children were involved in this. We don't know where in this building, if there was a shooting in the building, where inside it was, if there are any victims at this point, all of that. And I've been in between us talking, making phone calls and talking to police, and they say they just don't know yet, that this is unfolding for them as it is unfolding for us right now, and that they don't know a lot. But it's been quite the scene of seeing those children come out.
Well, and one of the other things that's notable about this community, this happened in the Clairemont neighborhood. It's highly residential, and our affiliate there, KGTV, actually was talking to a resident who happened to be going to the local Target with his son, watching all of this play out. His name is Aaron. Take a listen to what he told our reporters there.
I go to Target, to pick up some things. The doors are locked, and it wasn't just Target, it was the whole shopping center. And then I checked the Citizen app and saw an alert that there was an active shooter going on. I have a son right over here in school too, so I figured, I got to see what's happening and alert the public. So I went live.
What was going on in your head when you found out there was an active shooter?
It was it's confusing, it's nerve-wracking. I mean, out of all places, like the Mosque, you're dealing with two schools right here, another school right down the block where my son goes, so I've never seen a presence like this.
And your son is safe right now?
He's safe from what, he's safe.
Seeing the massive law enforcement response out here, what do you make of that?
I gotta say, they got here fast. And they just kept flowing in. It's good to know that.
I'm gonna ask you guys something here in a
care.
second.
We're protected. I mean, I had an officer yell at me when I got too close, but I know it was for my safety. So it's good to know they're here, but this amount of presence, that they have makes you wonder, what was the motive? What were they doing? Is it just a shooter?
And what happened,
Exactly.
No word on fatalities or injuries or anything like that.
And, as I was live on Citizen, you see people in the comments, oh, we can confirm this, oh, we can confirm this. But it's like everything nowadays, you have to fact check. So we really don't know what's going on because the officers obviously are still investigating and they're not going to say anything at this point.
Now, you were telling me you've lived in the area for like 10 years or so. Have you ever seen anything like this around here?
Never. I mean, I see police helicopters flying over. You get on the Citizen apps, kind of figure out what's going on, but never like this.
Yeah, and Brad, you can really hear the emotion in that father's voice. Obviously, he was there with his son, but hearing something like this and seeing something like this play out.
So Citizens is saying, and this is what Layla brought to my attention, it says at least 3 people were killed and 2 suspected shooters are dead after an active shooter incident near the Islamic Center of San Diego prompted a massive emergency response. So how do you read that? How do you take that? It says at least 3 people were killed. So I guess I feel like I'm reading that as if 5 people, 2 the shooter and 3 victims. I'm going to read it again. It says at least 3 people were killed and 2 suspected shooters are dead after an active shooter incident near the Islamic Center of San Diego, prompting a massive emergency response. Let me play. I think there's audio. Let me see if I can. Second.
Supervisor from RTF1. RTF1, go ahead. Just another update. RTF units are still standing by outside with PD. We have confirmed 3 victims, 1144 outside the building, as well as 2, reportedly 2 shooters, 1144 on the property. Supervisor from RTF1. RTF1, go ahead. Just another update. RTF units are still standing by outside with PD. We have confirmed 3 victims, 1144 outside the building, as well as 2, reportedly 2 shooters, 1144 off the property. Okay, copy that. What's your actual location on the street? We are in the parking lot of the mosque.
That's crazy. So yeah, the way it sounds like is 3 victims and 2 shooters, 5 people total so far is what it sounds like are deceased, which is pretty crazy at this Islamic Center in San Diego, California. That's pretty wild.
Reporting, because it was always my impression that perhaps was the case, and that certainly would have been prudent on a day like today. But again, it's just way too early in this investigation to know anything like a motive. Not that there will ever be any rational explanation to explain why somebody would even want to do this and threaten people and perhaps children and all the rest of this stuff. But their first order of business is just making sure that people are safely evacuated when possible, and also that the threat has been neutralized. And at least that appears to be the case. And we'll wait for the investigators to come out later with some more information. But at this point, it's just making sure everyone's safe, everybody's accounted for as well. And we all look forward to hearing information from police later to see that the people who are down, these suspects, that's it. And there are no other innocents that may have been targeted.
We're just hearing now that Sharp Memorial Hospital is receiving patients from the shooting, and that is patients plural. So that is just the unknown. We don't know if these are adults, if there were any children involved.
Stressful.
It's so stressful. And as I've been sitting here watching this along with our viewers unfold and sort of describing the situation that we've seen on Sky Ranger 7 or from our ground crews, like the image we're getting now, and also getting updates from our newsroom, there's the parent part of me that feels sick to my stomach when you see something like this. As soon as we saw those first children come out of the Islamic Center holding hands, you just never want to actually have to report on a situation like this, even though we know that this is a reality in today's day and age. What was that information?
Police say now that the threat has been neutralized.
Yes, okay. As we've been reporting, the threat neutralized. 2 suspects have been shot and killed. No more outstanding suspects. So again, we want to reiterate, the threat is neutralized, so people can breathe a sigh of relief there, but we certainly want to make sure that loved ones get reunified with their family members who may have been at the Islamic Center of San Diego today. And we do know that there are patients at Sharp Memorial Hospital, so we don't know yet about who those people might be.
Right. And I just walked in and joined Monica right now, but I presume that we have the information for the reunification center in case there are some parents perhaps that...
We certainly do. Can we put that back up on the screen again if people are searching for that information on exactly where the reunification center is? I'll search in my notes here as I've been following along. There we go. Let's see, that's the scene. There is the reunification center, 4125 Hathaway Street.
Okay, very well. So if you're just joining us right now, we continue to cover what was an active shooter situation which happened at the Islamic Center in San Diego, which has been a source for journalists as well. They have been handy in commenting on matters of faith and certainly in politics and sort of the tensions which have arisen, just as some of the synagogue and Jewish schools are. They remain sort of on a heightened posture as well because of the politics involved and also of the extremists involved as well. It will be interesting to see how this unfolded. That it seemed like the reaction, Monica, was very, very quick from police once the call came out.
It certainly was. Those calls came in between 11:30 and 11:45 this morning, and they were multiple 911 calls about this active shooter situation. We were on the air just shortly after noon, so really within the next 30 minutes, all of these law enforcement just descended on this location in Clairemont and shut down roads, told neighbors to shelter in place. We were trying to get the word out here, and we could just see all of the armored vehicles, all of the SWAT teams converging on the mosque to make sure that people were kept safe in the face of a threat such as this involving 2 people here at the Islamic Center of San Diego that has now been neutralized. Both suspects are dead. Those are believed to be the only suspects involved with this active shooter situation.
So this really is an entire community, right, for much of the Muslim faith in Clairemont, which has a sizable population. So you have a mosque there. You also have classes which are taken, and also you have young children who attend there. I think it's just, it's like K through elementary,
pre-K through third.
Through third grade. So you're talking about like little ones, right, who had to be rushed out.
Oh, it's heartbreaking to see.
Poor kids have no idea what is going on, and you just hope that you can get them out of there without them seeing too much and experiencing too much, and you just wonder how this kind of stuff just continues to happen.
And interestingly, today marks the start of a holiday period for the Islamic faith of Dhul Hijjah. And the first 10 days of the month that it's recommended to do additional acts of worship. So we don't know if this attack somehow coincided with this observance or what was maybe going on in observance of.
Thank you so much. 63 months. Holy moly. Thank you. Yeah, there's some pretty graphic stuff online. I'm not going to show it here, but you can see online on X of one of the shooters on the floor. So they're saying, or well, according to the scanner and citizens is saying that the 2 shooters deceased plus 3 victims. 2 shooters. So pretty crazy. Unfortunate that they actually, I guess, killed people. It's a good thing this place had some kind of security. It would have been probably worse, but really unfortunate nonetheless. I mean, with these churches and places of worship, and you gotta have security, cameras, guns.
Top, and sometimes it's accurate, sometimes it's not. But we do our best to just pass on vetted information to you, and the information that we are passing on, that the threat has been neutralized, that there are 2 suspects down, are coming from 3 high-level San Diego police officials. So that we can take heart with of knowing.
You see the reunification center there at 4125 Hathaway Street in San Diego. If you are looking to reunite with loved ones and trying to get the latest information, certainly a panicked bunch of parents trying to get to their kiddos there at the Islamic Center. The place to be is 4125 Hathaway Street. We've heard from some of our local leadership. We know Mayor Todd Gloria says he's headed to the area right now. We also got an acknowledgement from the office of Governor Gavin Newsom. So we're trying to just piece together what happened, what led up to this, what transpired inside that mosque, and how many people may have been injured or even killed. And our prayer is that they are going to be okay, because this is certainly an unnerving and heartbreaking scene for our entire community to have to deal with a situation like this, something that they train for and hope to never have to use.
I know, exactly. Let's go out to NBC7 Shelby Bremer. Shelby, for us, for our viewers, and for everyone, kind of do a little scene setter. Tell us where you are in relation to all of this and what you know, please.
Yeah, Mark, we're at Batista, right at Armstrong. So I'm on Batista right now, facing Armstrong, and you can see the police line is right here. We have not been able to get past this, obviously, but what we did just see was a bomb squad truck drive in, and so you can see all of the vehicles down there. We're not really entirely sure what the presence is there, what what's needed there, but I can tell you that we're also watching so many cars circle this intersection, do U-turns, and so many parents. We have seen parent after parent driving. Honestly, a lot of them crying, trying to get to that reunification center. We were trying to get there, but we were, in a line of people going through the intersections crying. We also saw somebody, we were over at Lindbergh Park earlier, and saw somebody who frequents the mosque and said he came because he saw what was happening on the news, and he came to see what was happening. But obviously, so many people can't get close to the Islamic Center. So many people are having trouble finding the reunification site, that we're seeing a lot of grief and sadness and confusion. And Mark, I heard you earlier talking about how we're trying to filter through that information, of course, but all of the people living in this area are trying to filter through it too. I just spoke to a woman who lives at this corner, said she's confused. Her kids don't go to the Islamic Center, but they're at area schools. She doesn't know if she can go get them. She's not sure about the lockdown situation, and she's scanning her Ring cameras to see what she can see as far as maybe a potential suspect or anything that looks out of the ordinary, really. So honestly, what we're seeing right now is a lot of people circling and just a lot of confusion. We're going to try and get a little bit more information, but that's what's happening right here at Batista and Armstrong.
Okay, yes, certainly an unnerving situation for all of those neighbors. Shelby, we appreciate you keeping tabs on that. If you are one of those neighbors and trying to seek information right now, I think the best and most important thing to know is that the threat has been neutralized. The situation is contained. Now, the extent of injuries or deaths, we do not know yet. We're awaiting.
So the thing that is today, I'm not sure how to pronounce this, but it would be the first day of Dhul Hijjah. I'm saying that right, and probably not. And they say it's the start of one of the holiest periods of the Islamic year. It says that the first 10 days are considered the best days of the entire year for worship and good deeds, even more virtuous than the days of Ramadan. According to a well-known hadith from the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, there are no days on which righteous deeds are more beloved to Allah than these 10 days. So I'm wondering the two shooters if they had this in mind too, potentially, that this was maybe this special 10 days. It says many Muslims use this time for increased prayer, fasting, especially recommended for the first 9 days. Okay.
I think you will see this police presence there for a while as they make sure that all harm is done, and then they basically have to secure the entire thing because this is now an active.
Who could be the shooters? What the motives? What's the motive
We
behind?
understand that several patients were taken to Sharp Memorial Hospital. Our NBC7's Audra Stafford is there right now. And Audra, I understand that the hospital has issued a statement giving us a little insight into what they're dealing with there.
Oh, wow. Really? Christina, where'd you send that?
That's right. Yeah. So we've been out here for the last 30, 45 minutes, and steadily we've seen what appeared to be maybe some sort of a triage area being set up outside of the hospital. We were just able to confirm that they have activated their emergency protocols. And so that's what we're seeing. So if you look behind me here, you can see actually there were quite a number of medical personnel that were in yellow gowns. It looks like maybe they've stepped inside now, but where all those folks are, we've seen next to that blue tent a lot of just more resources being brought out. You can see some beds there, all really just in case, again, as part of this emergency.
Okay, let's check this out. Eyewitness account, maybe 30 shots fired. Let's see.
Steve, who do you have there?
So I'm at Exerman Cosmo, which is just across the street from
Sun goes, so I've never seen a presence like this.
And your son is safe right now?
He's safe from what? Yeah, he's safe.
Seeing the massive law enforcement response out here, what do you make of that?
You know, I gotta say, they got here fast. Like, and they just kept flowing in. It's good to know that, you know, obviously they care. We're protected. I mean, I had an officer yell at me when I got too close, but I know it was for my safety.
Oh, that's the guy that was on Citizen. Okay, let's hear this eyewitness account first. And I'll pause this dude so we can listen when we're done. Oh, well, let me pause. Okay.
Fired and was home around noon. And Andre, tell me what you heard right around noon.
We were having lunch and I heard at least a dozen shots. They sounded like from a semi-automatic weapon. And then there was a pause, and then another dozen shots, and again a pause, and probably another dozen, so maybe around 30 shots. That's what we heard. Then I called 911 and reported the incident. They asked me if I saw a car speeding away from the mosque, which I didn't because I was inside the house.
Understandably, you didn't want to come outside at that point. You could tell these were not firecrackers. This was not some kind of a joke. This was a serious situation.
Yes, definitely sounded like gunshots. And we were concerned and putting our heads down inside the house.
And so then, about how quickly did it take before you started hearing the sirens and the officers started showing up? Were they, here instantly?
A few minutes after my call, I would say about 5 to 10 minutes after my call, I heard the sirens. And at the same time, the helicopter was here.
And at that point, they had already said to you, did you see a car speeding away? And what you had heard maybe there was possibly a chase on the 805?
What?
This we found later on online that apparently there was a chase of a black SUV on 805.
And that's still information we are waiting to confirm, but definitely a scary situation here for Andre, just sitting home, having lunch, he's retired, hanging out.
A getaway car? What's the chase?
And so then, about how quickly did it take before you started hearing the sirens and the officers started showing up? Were they, here instantly?
A few minutes after my call, I would say about 5 to 10 minutes after my call, I heard the sirens. And at the same time, the helicopter was here.
And at that point, they had already said to you, did you see a car speeding away? And what you had heard maybe there was possibly a chase on the 805?
This we found later on online that apparently there was a chase of a black SUV on 805.
And that's still information we are waiting to confirm, but definitely a scary situation here for Andre just sitting home, 30 total. And then Andre, you also saw, I was telling folks at home, the kids coming out. It's just a heartbreaking scene as we're watching these.
Relieve gets very concerned or.
Interesting. I don't know. What? Getaway car.
For a time there, we didn't know if the threat had been neutralized, as we have now confirmed it has been.
So you just take one look at Sky Ranger 7 right now, you see how active and how busy this neighborhood is, not only with businesses, but tons of homes too. This is a very active community. There are a lot of people around there. Life has been disrupted, and we've been speaking with some people who live in that neighborhood. Here's one.
Easy, 150 police cars have shown up here. So I called my friend who's a fireman, and he said, yeah, there's a shooting. Supposedly someone walked up, showed a weapon to the security guard. Security guard pulled his weapon. They started firing, and from there, this is what I know. I know SWAT showed up, and this is what's going on since then.
And you've been standing here for how long? How quickly did all of this?
Crazy.
Into the driveway, it has been nonstop show of police officers.
We are getting some more information, and it is not good news. There appears to be at least one individual who was shot and killed, because we are getting an update from the Council on American Islamic Relations, known as CAIR, and representatives from CAIR have confirmed that at least one member of the mosque was killed. Oh, no. The council says that they certainly have condemned the shooting and the attack that happened here. Representatives are there on the scene monitoring the developments as they try to piece together what happened. The school children were inside during the attack, and once again, someone from the Council on American Islamic Relations has confirmed to us that at least one member of the mosque was killed. We actually have a statement, too, from the executive director, Tahsin Nizam, who said, we strongly condemn this horrifying act of violence at the Islamic Center of San Diego. Our thoughts are with everyone impacted by this attack. No one should ever fear for their safety while attending prayers or studying at an elementary school. We are working to learn more about this incident, and we encourage everyone to keep this community in your prayers.
CAIR, by the way, also regularly publishes something called a best practices for mosque and community safety booklet. Wow. I mean, that's the world. We need that. That's the world that we live in too. Synagogues have to go through the same thing. This is sort of unfortunately, the climate of what exists now. But this is obviously something beyond politics and beyond even.
Crazy.
Advisor from read your actual location.
Beyond politics. It's all politics, it seems like.
Plays out later, but I would not be surprised if it happens to be one of the first people that confronted these gunmen, or at least hopefully gave other people a chance to get out of danger.
Wow. And we have been reporting that today marks the start of a holiday religious observance period called Dhul Hijjah. During the first 10 days of the month, it's recommended to do additional acts of worship. We know one member of the mosque was killed. We're waiting on confirmation about any other injuries, as we know that some are being treated there at Sharp Memorial, where our Audra Stafford was located. We have more than half a dozen crews spanned out over the Clairemont area, gathering information, talking to residents, talking to police, and filtering that information back to us as we pass that along to you. Just a sad day in the city of San Diego today, as this active shooter situation that has been contained sadly has claimed at least one life, including two of the shooters.
which would then speak to the multiple people down, which one of the officials had confirmed to all of us. Just joining us, the first call of this came just about lunchtime, 11:30, 11:45, and then from that point on, these police agencies, obviously San Diego Police, because it's happening in Clairemont, is the lead agency in all of this, but they all drill for this, and there is just instant community aid, which happens. So multiple agencies are there, including, I'm sure, the FBI is there by now, and multiple local and state agencies as well. We saw a CHP cruiser there as well. Okay, summary of what we know so far from the police department. The threat at the center of San Diego has been neutralized. They believe at this point that there are 2 bad guys, 2 gunmen. They have both been neutralized, so we presume that means that they have been killed. They did not say that they believe that there are any other bad guys who are out there, at least at this point. Obviously, if you have 2 people involved, were they supported in planning all of this? They certainly will be looking into all of that, we can bet. CARE, one member of the mosque, has been killed in the attack, as Monica mentioned just a short time ago, along with a statement from CARE. And for all, remember, they have a kindergarten through 3rd grade school there. So you've got these babies who are going there basically just to get an education and be together and presumably be safe. They were all rushed out. We saw them being escorted with armed police officers to make sure that they got okay. We have gotten no word that any children have been harmed. A reunification center has been set up because, remember, you may have parents who are not monitoring their phone or their television set, and they may just now be hearing about it. There's probably a phone tree, but still, it's just like, okay, where do I go? There's an active shooter where my 4-year-old goes to school. So the police, and along with the center, smartly set up a reunification center at 4125 Hathaway Street in San Diego so that parents can safely meet up with their children, offer them hugs and support, and they will hear from the school about what's next. But I can't imagine the school and the center opening anytime soon because it's an active crime scene that has to be investigated.
I think in reporting a situation like this, it is always the biggest fear that there are children involved or somehow in harm's way, as those of us who are parents know that our kids have these lockdown drills at their schools and even preschools, which is horrifying to think that our children have to even go through something like that. But I know it caught my stomach. My stomach dropped when I saw those babies coming out hand in hand, led by their teachers
and
the administrators. No, it was clearly a sense of urgency, but there are law enforcement with guns trying to keep them safe as they were frantically exiting, but doing so in a really orderly fashion given the situation. So kudos to our law enforcement for being there to escort those children out of harm's way.
And by all indications so far, it looks like this was a very robust response, very quick. People running towards the danger, all the rest of that. But
and all the stories, Mark, that you can imagine are going to come out of this. We always end up talking to family members, first responders, people who were there on scene, and that's kind of the sadness that trickles down from an incident like this, because you hear about the horror and the terror that these 2 suspects impose.
Yeah, they're saying one of the security guards is deceased. I guess we're going to have to wait for more information. Mara here said the shooter who targeted the Islamic Center in San Diego has reportedly been neutralized. 2 people were killed. One of the security guard, or one of a security guard. I don't know. That's what he says.
To tell everyone, what did you see this morning when you came back from work?
Just coming back from work, and nothing was going on, and then I went back home, and then we were just going out for a walk, and then everything was shut down, and then we looked on the news and saw what was going on. That's pretty much about it. We saw everything that was happening. I hope everybody's okay.
Yeah. What kind of presence did you see in your area, like right outside your home?
Nothing crazy until the last hour. All of a sudden, all these cop cars showed up. We've been hearing helicopters for the last hour or so. So nothing out of the ordinary other than our streets being shut down.
Yeah, I've talked to a bunch of your neighbors, and I'm sure you have too. Tell me about how neighbors are feeling in this time.
I'm staying with my friend over here. He's our Uber driver over here. Sorry. all of our neighbors were texting my friend just saying like, hey, I hope you guys are okay, everything's okay. But that's pretty much everything I've heard.
Yeah. How do you feel right now?
I don't know, we're a little scared, I guess, but worried for everybody because I walk by this mosque all the time and I hope everyone's okay.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Tell me a little bit about this neighborhood. I mean,
very nice neighborhood. Yesterday we had like a kids party and all of his friends were out in the street just like hanging out with each other. It's a very nice neighborhood. I go for like long walks all the time over here. So
yeah. What questions do you have right now?
What's going on? I don't know. I'm very confused. I mean, obviously for everything to be shut down like this, it's a little weird, but that's about it.
Yeah, that's kind of the message that we've gotten from everybody is that there's a lot of confusion and there's a lot of obviously sadness, of course, at what's happening, but there's so many people that are kind of, we mentioned earlier, circling around and making U-turns trying to get to their kids. So I think everybody is kind of having those same questions right now, like Isaiah. Thank you so much for your time and hoping for the best. Yeah, thanks. Back to you guys.
All right. Thank you, Shelby, and Isaiah as well. All the neighbors in that community, our hearts just go out to everybody and anyone with a loved one or a connection to the Islamic Center of San Diego, because even beyond the immediacy of the danger.
Some people are saying, I don't know if this is true, the graphic video and image that's been posted online on X of the person deceased in front of the mosque, some people are saying that's the security guard. I don't know if that's true or not. That's not the suspect. It's either the security guard or one of the victims. New York Times. Let me see here. Guard killed in shooting. Making me log in to read this crap.
Of something like this where there are multiple injuries or casualties or whatever the situation may be.
So the way that it came over, this is a statement we got from Sharp just a short time ago. They said Sharp Memorial Hospital is receiving patients from the shooting and said disaster procedures have been activated. That doesn't mean that people are streaming through the door, but it means that they are open. A lot of places in various large cities, there are level 1 trauma centers, right, which essentially means that 24/7 you have a specialist which is not only on call but on duty and in-house the whole time. So they're basically ready for anything. But what they don't know in a situation like this, you could have children, right, who may have witnessed things or been walked past some pretty bad stuff on the way out, or just feeling scared, or their parents, or you just don't know. So they're set up. Sharp has not said that a certain number of people have come through, but they said that we are available for anyone who needs help. We're here. Come here if you need any kind of help or just to be checked out.
And we should acknowledge, if you have been watching along with us since we first broke into programming a little after noon today, at one point Sky Ranger 7 did show a deceased person on the property there at the mosque.
It was outside?
It appeared to be outside, maybe the entrance, and we apologize for the surprise of that image. We were all surprised along with our viewing audience. We don't know who that person is. We don't know exactly what happened there, or if that was someone involved, if that was one of the two suspects. We do not know, but that was, where the children were coming out of the mosque as well. Yeah. So I don't know how close in proximity. It was a little hard to tell at that point, but just a situation that you never want any family member or loved one next to, let alone these like 3 to...
Oh, snap. Is that AXN? What's up, man? Is that the real AXN? Oh, yo, what's up? Thank you so much, man. I appreciate you, dude. Security guard down in front of a mosque. 2 shooters dead in a vehicle. Thank you. Make sure you guys check out his channel. He's out there in Los Angeles. boots on the ground, Stringer, like out there live a lot of the times. Great channel. Yeah, pretty wild situation. I'm confused because the way the audio sounded, it sounded like I thought it was almost like 5 people dead, but so far what I'm hearing is 2 shooters and the person out front. The way we heard the audio, to me, it sounded like 5 people. Maybe we'll listen again one more time. Citizen updated their title and it says at least 3 killed. Maybe it was a miss. Yeah, it says at least 3 killed, 2 suspects down, an active shooter situation.
Group supervisor from RTF1. RTF1, go ahead. Just another update. RTF units are still standing by outside with PD. We have confirmed 3 victims, 1144 outside the building, as well as reportedly 2 shooters, 1144 off the property.
Yeah, that's weird. Okay. So we'll have to wait. Maybe, I don't know, maybe they'll update that. But the way he's saying it, but scanner kind of changes a lot of the time too. Like you don't know. You know what I mean? But the way he says it to me sounds like there's 3 victims and then there's 2 shooters. The people killed. I don't know. I guess we'll have to see. Maybe they'll update it.
Family members who may have been home at the time were safe too.
Exactly. Yeah, so if you guys happen to live in that particular neighborhood, we will do kind of behind the scenes is we will work the phones and reach out to San Diego Police Department to see if people who live in the community are being allowed basically to go home or if they're just basically cordoning everything off. But even with the threat neutralized, look at the law enforcement presence, which will exist there, but there are 3 deceased people on scene. They have to double, triple check, probably with bomb dogs, everything, just to make sure everything is thoroughly clear from that building. And then all of the homicide investigators come in and they begin their investigation, right? So this Islamic Center is now an active crime scene and likely will be that way for days.
We have a statement from the Islamic Center to share with you and some information I think to put up on, we've actually spoken with someone, I understand, from the Islamic Center. Let's hear what they have to say.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. This is Imam Taha from the Islamic Center of San Diego. I wanted to send this message to the entire Muslim community in San Diego. Alhamdulillah, we are safe. The entire school is safe. All the kids, all the staff and the teachers are safe out of the Islamic Center. We have few casualties, not confirmed yet. There is no threat at this moment, but we want everyone to stay away from the Islamic Center of San Diego. We are closed for the rest of the day. Stay safe, stay at home, and make a lot of prayers and a lot of dua. Assalamu alaikum.
Okay.
There you have it. Well, multiple casualties now. We do know the 1 confirmed inside the mosque and 2 suspects, which would be a total of 3 people, which is multiple. We don't know if there are any casualties beyond those 3 people, but they're reassuring to hear him say that the school and the children and all involved are safe. Really good news.
So we don't know who the 3rd person is, or maybe he wasn't aware of it, or maybe this was a security guard or something else like that. But that's one, at least you can cross off the list that the children are all safe. Thank goodness.
Yeah, thank goodness they are. And certainly the prayers of an entire community and nation will be going out to all involved in this horrific act of terror, this active shooter situation that happened. Calls coming out at 11:30, multiple 911 calls brought law enforcement, just descended here on the Islamic Center of San Diego. The mosque that you see in the center of your screen, which is situated there on Ekstrom Avenue, just south of Balboa Avenue and west of the 805. And in the hours that have transpired, they have neutralized the threat. 2 suspects. There's
a guy named Breaking News on X, the news trending. He said a woman named Vanessa, who lives across the street from the Islamic Center of San Diego with her husband and 2 daughters, was eating lunch when she heard explosions. She saw kids playing in the center's playground, rush inside, then witnessed a uniformed officer get shot while on the phone with 911. I told them to hurry. There's so many kids, she said. Her daughter's nearby school is now on lockdown. That was earlier. Let me see. Did you have audio? I'd like to actually see or hear that. What? Again, take with a grain of salt because I haven't seen anything confirmed on that. Weird. Okay.
Shooter, because I remember when I was driving in, Monica, I was listening to you on my phone as we stream all of our newscasts and our live coverage. It was still an active shooter situation. You don't know if there's people running around the school still, around the neighborhood, into situations where they could cause even more harm.
Really
but
scary situation.
But whatever the case is, it's going to be fascinating to figure out how this was neutralized and neutralized so quickly, because a lot of times we hear about lone shooter situations, right? And active shooter situations. These are two people working together. So
somehow
this is something
organized.
that took organization, planning, and all the rest of that. And usually in a circumstance like that, there is major damage with casualties, both fatalities and also in injuries. And in no way are we minimizing the fact that there was one person, one innocent who was killed, certainly, but that you have two gunmen armed, storming into a place which is unsuspecting, but hopefully had some sort of guardrails up, which I suspect they probably did. It probably could have been a lot worse. So,
and patients being treated here at the nearby Sharp Memorial Hospital, which is really just a few blocks away from the situation, their statement was that Sharp Memorial is receiving patients from the shooting. Our disaster procedures have been activated. We're coordinating with the County of San Diego and other resources to respond. We're getting a couple new updates right now. San Diego City Council has canceled all meetings today, according to Council President Joe LaCava. And just in the last 2 minutes, FBI and ATF confirmed that they
Hospital tweeted out that the FBI San Diego has responded to the scene of the shooting at the Islamic Center of San Diego this afternoon. All resources will be made available, assisting local partners, and will be updated. And we will update the public as we're able to. I can't read. Okay. Okay. I'm just like scanning all the on X, all the updates and information.
Okay, let's send it over to Tori Apodaca now. She's
at the school, as well as a daughter who's in the front of staff office. How are you feeling right now? What are they telling you?
I'm shaking. Fortunately, my doctor text messaged me that she's okay, but she's 911. She's in the receptionist area in the office. And my daughter-in-law is a teacher helper. She talked to me, but I don't know if she's in a safe place. But the good news that I got, my son is inside with the police officer. He checked with the kids. They're fine.
So good to hear.
But I don't know anything else about anybody else. As far as I heard, I don't know if it's not the right news or not about the security.
Did they hear any gunshots? What was the first information they told you?
They did. Like I said, I was sitting in the sofa with my son. We talking. All of a sudden, my son jumped. Said, "There is a shooting. Let's go." And I don't know if they heard any shooting. What happened? I don't know all those details. But that's fine.
I hear you're getting.
So it's a very tough situation because we had no idea how this happened, what time. We just jumped and ran to come to the school.
I'm so glad to hear that you've been able to get in touch with some of your loved ones who are inside there.
Luckily, but hopefully that everybody is safe in the school. Yeah. All the teachers, all the kids, are just like my kids. I'm very worried.
Thank you, sir. I can't imagine just how traumatizing, even though I'm so glad to hear they're okay.
Yeah. It is very traumatizing, although I'm still shaking. My son left the car in the middle of the city. He ran.
He ran.
They didn't let him turn until now. Hopefully, he's calling me back. But at least he said that he went and checked on the kids, his kids and my grandkids. They are okay upstairs. Hopefully, all the kids and all the teachers, all the staff are good.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you, sir, so much for talking with us. And again, we're just out here on Balboa Avenue. There's other parents standing nearby right here, wanting to know how their children are doing as they're inside the school there, where there is this very active scene for an active shooter investigation, Netta and Eric.
Yeah, you can certainly hear and understand the emotion coming from that man, with...
Okay, let's see if they got any new information with this
the
lady.
police lines are still there.
Yeah, it's been a complete standstill. I haven't been able to move from Lindbergh Park, so I haven't seen who isn't able to come in. I just know that I'm not seeing anyone come in. Of course, there's neighbors that have come out and looked in their driveways, come over and spoken to us, that have just heard things and are checking on family, kids that they have that go to the schools as well. But it's a complete gridlock right now. None of the squad cars that I saw come in have left. We still see dozens and dozens of them over to my left, the overpass over the 805 highway. So nobody's moving is essentially what I can say.
I'm going to put you on the spot for just a second because we were scrambling also to get our viewers information here, so we didn't hear everything that you said. But as they set up behind you right now, presumably that's for the police chief, right? And the mayor, who I understand is supposed to be arriving at the scene. Do we have any idea if that's the case and when they might talk, please?
We do know that the police chief is definitely going to be here. I haven't heard about the mayor myself, but he could be coming as well. I do see some other city staffers here. We know that the police chief will be here, they say, in the next 5 minutes. We don't know. He's finishing up gathering information at the center, and then we're told that... Say that one more time? They're 100 yards away. I don't see them visually, but one of the city staffers just said that they're about 100 yards away to being able to come and give us information after they were done kind of gathering what they could at the center, where their next priority. So hopefully we'll hear a lot more really soon.
Excellent. Okay, stand by right there. We hope to hear from the police chief coming up very quickly. We understand he's 100 yards away. For those of you who are just joining us right now, we continue to, and we'll give you an overhead shot as well. Here's one of Sharp Memorial Hospital as well of what's going on. So between 11:30 and 11:45 this morning at the Islamic Center of San Diego in Clairemont, which is a place which is known as sort of like the heart of the Islamic community. Even as journalists, we use many of their people who do commentary on politics and on culture, and they're a vibrant part of this community. Between 11 and 11:45, 911 calls started just coming in one after another, that there was an active shooter situation involved. Clearly, San Diego police has protocols. They also have mutual aid, which means, as you can see, there's a sheriff's department, people behind that white car right there. You have other agencies which just swarm in. I mean, it's all hands on deck. Everybody just goes there very, very quickly. From what we understand at this point, and we'll hear hopefully soon from the police chief, is that they had two bad guys, two gunmen who approached the mosque center. According to a witness who just spoke with Chandel Maniz, who we heard from just a moment ago, that one of a security guard, presumably who works for the mosque, we'll find details in just a second, may have engaged the gunman. What we do know is immediately the SWAT team was called, the whole place was put into lockdown. Hundreds of police vehicles arrived there, everybody just running towards the situation to try and defuse it. And in the end, we heard not a long time ago that both of the gunmen had been, quote unquote, neutralized. And then we heard probably about 10, 15 minutes ago that there was a member of the mosque, of the Islamic Center. We don't know if it was the security guard, that we see the mayor and some other officials approaching the podium. We'll hear from them in just a second. But that also a third person, not one of the bad guys, but somebody associated with the Islamic Center, had also been killed. So a total of 3. That we see also Scott Wall, the police chief, also, who is walking up. So we'll hear from them very soon. We saw also, which was really sobering, Monica Dean, our thanks to you as well. I'm also joining now with Catherine Garcia, my co-anchor, as we get ready to hear the San Diego police officials tell us what the latest is on a sobering day. But they had, Catherine, children who were going to school there, kindergarten to 3rd grade. We understand from a mosque representative. They were not harmed, but certainly how traumatic we saw them being escorted, these babies, with armed police officers just to get them out of harm's way.
Here's the chief.
Good afternoon. Cesar Jimenez with San Diego Police Department, Public Information Officer. Still very early in our investigation. We've got Chief Scott Wallace going to let you know what occurred. We are going to have time for questions afterwards, and so please, Chief Scott Wallace.
This is every community's worst nightmare. I want to give you some preliminary information to put a lot of minds at ease. There is no further threat. Both suspects in this case are deceased. All of the kids are safe. Our hearts go out to the families that are in this moment being notified of what has happened to their loved ones. We have 3 confirmed adults that are deceased at the Islamic Center. There is a lot of preliminary information that we're going to try to highlight and cover, but understand it's going to take us some time to get accurate information out to everyone. Here's what we know so far. At about 11:43, we received a call of an active shooter at the Islamic Center. Within 4 minutes, officers arrived on scene and observed immediately 3 deceased, what appeared to be deceased victims out in front. They immediately began to deploy with an active shooter response into the mosque and adjacent school. At about the same time, we began to receive calls from just a couple blocks away that we had more active gunfire. Officers were also responding to that call for service at the same time.
All right.
There was a landscaper that was doing his work that was shot at.
Ooh.
And fortunately was not hit. That was at about the 7100 block of Salerno, which is just a couple blocks from here. Moments later at the 3800 block of Hatton, officers were called to that location where they found a vehicle in the middle of the street with who we believe to be the shooters in this incident, both deceased.
Ooh. Whoa.
The circumstances that led up to this and the details of what happened and exactly which time it happened will come out in the days ahead. I can tell you, this is, in 28 years, this is the most dynamic and impressive response that I have ever seen in policing. We have every single police officer available throughout our county that dropped what they're doing and did exactly what they're trained to do. Run towards gunfire. I could not be more proud, and I cannot express the gratitude, the willingness to step into harm's way in a moment like this. And I tell you what got me. Watching the kids come running out. Just thankful to be alive. I want to bring up Mark Remley from the FBI. Because of the Islamic Center location, we are considering this a hate crime until it's not. And at this point, we're going to work closely with the FBI to make sure that we are matching all the resources that we need for this investigation. So, Mark?
Good afternoon. My name is Mark Remley. I'm the special agent in charge of the FBI San Diego field office. Today, the FBI responded to assist our local law enforcement partners at the Islamic Center of San Diego. This was based on reports of an active shooter. As the chief said, what we know at this time is that there are 3 deceased adult males, and those are the presumed victims at this time. On behalf of the FBI, we extend our sincerest condolences to the family and friends of the victims of this tragic incident. There were 2 subjects, both teenagers, and both are confirmed deceased.
Teenagers.
I want to thank our local law enforcement partners for their quick response that undoubtedly saved the additional loss of life. The FBI is meticulously assessing the situation and is prepared to employ every resource we have to uncover the facts of this incident. No community should have to go through such a tragic incident, but we will work tirelessly until we learn the truth. We have on scene a number of special agents, task force officers, our evidence response personnel, victim specialists, and many more. As we work through this investigation, we ask for your patience to determine any motive and facts associated with the shooting. The FBI continues to ask for the public's help in providing any information that could help us resolve this investigation, and we remind the public that any detail, no matter how small, could be useful. The FBI has set up a digital media tip line for information regarding this shooting. We ask that the public submit their tips to fbi.gov or call 1-800-CALL-FBI with any information you may have. Thank you.
One more piece of information that I failed to put out. There is a reunification center set up at 4125 Hathaway, where parents could be reunified with their kids and any other loved ones that might be related to the Islamic Center. That is the location where you can be reunified. Next, I want to bring up the Mayor of San Diego, Mayor Todd Gloria.
Thank you, Chief. I want to be here to reemphasize what our police chief said. The threat currently has been addressed. Children are safe, and that is a good thing. Obviously, we've had the loss of life here at the Islamic Center of San Diego, and to our local Muslim community, my prayers are with you. I want to assure our Muslim community that we will do everything it takes to make sure that you can feel safe in this city. And no resource will be spared in making sure that our religious institutions and locations are protected in this sensitive time. I want to express my appreciation to the San Diegans who responded to our calls to clear the area, to allow law enforcement to do their jobs. I ask you to continue to do that until you hear otherwise. As Chief said, students can be picked up at the church just down the street here. We have that information already sent out. And lastly, I would just say at this time, we'll have more comments later today. But at this moment, I want to simply express my immense gratitude and that of all 1.4 million San Diegans for the incredible law enforcement response that we saw here today. As Chief mentioned, a response within 4 minutes. This is what we train for. This is what we budget for. This is what we ask of our public safety professionals, and they absolutely deliver in the way that we ask them to do so. I appreciate our San Diego Police Department, our San Diego Fire Rescue Department, our Chief of the Fire Department is here as well as our local, state, and federal partners, many of whom have been in touch with me directly, recognizing the gravity of this situation and why it is so such a tragic situation for which there'll be a lot more work to be done in the days, weeks, and months ahead. Again, my condolences to the victims and their families, to our Muslim community. One of our great leaders is here, Imam Taha, who is directly impacted. This is a time for making sure that we do everything that's necessary to investigate and fully address the incident that was here today, but to reassert, as I always will, that hate has no place in the city of San Diego, and when it happens and crime of any nature occurs, we will hold you accountable. Again, appreciation to our public safety professionals. I'll turn it back to our chief.
I'll open it up to questions here in just a second. I want you to keep in mind, we're giving you what we have and what we know at this point, and there's only so many there's a limitation of what we can go into at this point until we can confirm information. So with that, we'll open up to a couple questions. Yeah. So thank you for asking. How many total deceased? So we have our 2 suspects that are deceased. We have 3 victims at the Islamic Center. All 3 are adults, for a total of 5 people that are deceased related to this incident. So we are actively investigating that right now to figure out and piece together exactly what led to this moment. And as we get that information confirmed and verified, we'll be back out here providing more details moving forward. So the suspects at this point appear to have died from self-inflicted gunshot wounds.
What?
There were no officers involved in firing their weapons. But that is still very preliminary at this point. But that's what we believe right now. 2 males.
Raging, thank you so much for the super on Rumble. 2 males.
At this point, we
Suicide.
believe them to be 17 and 19.
What the?
So, again, we are actively investigating the things that led up to this. Obviously, these things don't typically just happen on a whim. And the information that we knew preceding it is what we're actively looking into. And once we get that information verified and assembled, we will provide it. Yes, ma'am. Yeah. So the Islamic Center does have security. One of the deceased is a security guard that works there, and I think played a pivotal role in assisting from this being much worse. Yes. Yeah. The Islamic Center does have cameras, and there is footage. There's going to be a tremendous amount of information and details that we're going to try to sort and put this puzzle back together again. Not confirmed. No, we don't. Shannon, I don't necessarily know, which locations were put on a lockdown. There's other neighboring schools in the area. It's standard protocol. When information like this comes out with an active shooter, we try our best to get that information out and either shelter in place or evacuate from the area if it's ideally safe to do so. So that would not be outside of protocol for that to happen.
Just one more question. Yes.
So our initial officers that got on scene did not engage with the suspects in the parking lot. They began to make entry into the Islamic Center. They observed 3 deceased bodies outside of the center, which obviously forced them to engage in an active shooter response and immediately deploy inside of the Islamic Center and start working from room to room. They did have to breach doors to get into all of the different rooms. Extremely chaotic. There was somewhere between 50 to 100 police officers inside of that facility. All of you that responded here could see how many officers and deputies from around the county that were surrounding the outside of the facility. We also have the scene a couple blocks away where we had active gunfire coming in. on a landscaper that was just out there doing his job. Thankfully, he's okay. Was not hit. He was not injured. But we got a lot of work to do to try to figure out what led up to this and exactly what actions took place. But I can tell you with 100% certainty, the heroic actions of the responding officers and deputies is beyond words. To know that this many of our public servants are willing to leave their loved ones behind, drop what they're doing, and run towards gunfire without asking any questions is remarkable. Not yet. We're obviously making notifications as we speak to family and loved ones, and so I want to respect that. So we will be back. We will be back with more information a little bit later today. Thank you, guys.
Good afternoon. My name is Taha Hassan. I'm the Imam and Director of the Islamic Center of San Diego. I know it's time of sorrow, time of sadness. We have never experienced a tragedy like this before. And at this moment, all what I can say is sending our prayers and standing in solidarity with all the families in our community here. And also the other mosques and all the places of worship in our beautiful city should always be protected. It is extremely outrageous to target a place of worship. Our Islamic Center is a place of worship. People come to the Islamic Center to pray, to celebrate, to learn. Not only Muslims, but we have people from all walks of life. Just this morning, earlier, a group of people, non-Muslims, coming just to learn about our faith and our cultures. So this is something that we have never expected. And I would like also to thank all the people who contacted us from all over the country and even from overseas to give condolences and to ask about, is there anything they can do to help? And I would like also to thank our local authorities, our San Diego Police Department, the FBI, the San Diego Police Department, FBI, and all the Sheriff Department, our mayor, for showing up and standing in solidarity with us. So this is what I have to say. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. That's all the time we have right now. We will come back in 2 hours, and we will also set up for Spanish interviews. Yes.
All right, you've been listening to a press conference getting us up to date on what authorities know about what happened today at the Islamic Center of San Diego.
Very bizarre story. Leo told me, and I'm trying to confirm, it seems like people online are saying that this is the guard that was shot and killed. I don't know. They're saying it's allegedly some guy named Amin Abudallah. And you can see in his profile picture, he's suited up. Says officer. He's carrying a gun in his picture. There's one person that posted this. I want to be sure though, so maybe I'll wait. I don't want to put this guy. It looks like it probably is him, but. And you know, we covered the shooting yesterday in Texas. These kids went on a 10 shooting spree, 10 shootings from Saturday night until Sunday morning or afternoon in Texas, Austin, Texas. They were all caught, by the way. If you didn't know the update, they ended up catching the last teenager last night. I don't know what's gotten on with these teenagers, what they're consuming, what exactly they're doing on their free time. Like, what kind of. Because the Austin thing, I think they had stolen guns from different homes. They stole guns. They had multiple cars, stolen cars, just shooting at fire stations, shooting at random places. And so they confirmed with this California situation, San Diego, that 5 people are deceased. It's a press conference too. Let me see if I can. I just want to rewind it for a second.
Yep, yeah. Gunfire.
Yeah, turn the other one off.
Officers were also responding to.
So these dudes, or these 2 teenagers, they show up to the mosque. They get into it with the security guard. He gets killed, and 2 other people killed, and these people are on the outside of the mosque. I'm surprised or wonder why they didn't proceed to go inside or try to do more harm. Instead, they ran away.
Islamic Center. At about 11:43, we received a call of an active shooter at the Islamic Center. Within 4 minutes, officers arrived on scene and observed immediately 3 deceased, what appeared to be deceased victims out in front. They immediately began to deploy with an active shooter response into the mosque and adjacent school. At about the same time, we began to receive calls from just a couple blocks away that we had more active gunfire.
Yeah, turn the other one off.
Officers were also responding to that call for service at the same time. There was a landscaper that was doing his work that was shot at and fortunately was not hit.
So this was at the other location after the mosque. They're also getting reports of a shooting over there. Why shoot at a landscaper? I don't know, right?
That was at about the 7100 block of Salerno, which was just a couple blocks from here.
Just started.
Moments later, at the 3800 block of Hatton, officers were called to that location where they found a vehicle in the middle of the street. Officers were called to that location where they found a vehicle in the middle of the street with who we believe to be the shooters in this incident, both deceased. The circumstances that led up to this and the details of what
So bizarre.
happened and exactly which time it happened,
Teenagers?
both deceased. Some perspective. Bring up Mark Remley from the FBI.
So bizarre, yo. So they had a suicide pact? Was this religious? Is this religion? Religious politics? Or was it just some, I don't know, grudge? Teens? They personally knew the people that they shot and killed? Maybe, I don't know. Is that possible too? They just wanted to, I don't know. But a pact? It's really strange. Really strange. It would be crazy, maybe, like a personal thing. But I don't know. I mean, I don't know. Maybe they knew these people outside of the place. I forgot what shooting it was. Some dude. These 2, remember the 2 students that went missing from Florida? And everybody's like, oh my gosh, everything like that. And it turned out they were like roommates or some shit. And that the 2 of them, and they were all Indian, I think. And the 2 of them were like in a relationship or something. And the other one wasn't. And I never followed back up on that story, but the bodies eventually were found, and it turned out to be this other guy that knew them. I guess, I don't know if that's, with this, just kind of wondering why stop at the entrance and not for if he had a mission, why stop at the entrance? I mean, did they get spooked and then drive off and then off themselves together at the same time? What? Not even one person in that, the two of them were like, yo, you can do it. I'm not going to. We're going to pretend and then let the other dude off himself and walk away. I don't know. Yeah, these teenagers, I don't know what to think, man. Someone get these damn kids laid? What? Stop the violence. Thanks for the super chat. Damn, man. Yeah, I guess they say nothing good happens after. They used to say 12. I'm starting to think 10 or maybe 8. We need to bring down the time to 8 o'clock.
Also, not sure if we were rolling on this part for our viewers or not, but from one of the heads with the center as well, and he emphasized that. He said, listen, this is a holy time. This is, and I wrote one of his quotes down. He says, we've never experienced anything like this before. It's extremely outrageous to target a place of worship. People come here to celebrate, to pray, to learn. Just this morning, they had people that are not of their faith that came and just wanted to learn, and we're just trying to, spread the love that they have for their neighbors. And then this just happens just a couple hours later. He was completely, of course, heartbroken and just wanted to assure what he could about who was safe and who wasn't and what there was left to know. He didn't know any of the victims personally, but of course, still really felt.
That's wild. All right, I guess we'll head out for now. I will update it later. If there's more updates, I will update later. I'm curious about the identity, if and when we get that. Motive. Let me check this fire too real quick. Insanity.
So there are still some spots and things for us trying to fill in here, but she told me that at the corner here with the church, and I'm trying to see if I can see it from here. I can't, but earlier this afternoon, morning, around when this was happening, she's saying that her friend was sitting in traffic and then saw a security officer just start shooting at the suspect, and it was just kind of an exchange. She didn't clarify if it was the suspect first and then the officer just kind of jumped out and it was immediately, and reacted like that, because that's just, how they're wired and how they're trained to respond, or if it was them kind of trying to de-escalate the situation before it got to that point. I'm not sure about that, since it was her friend, but yeah, she's still around here somewhere. We'll definitely try to clarify what that friend, and also get that friend's contact, because that'll be a key.
Kids are devious. These teens, man. I don't know what they're up to, what they're plotting on their social media, TikTok, Discord, who knows? Radicalized. I don't get it. They got nothing to lose. Don't care. Where's the parents? Maybe they're dead. Who knows? Though? I don't know what to think. I'm curious about the identity and motivations. I'm very curious to see what that's going to be. Crazy. Check all the updates. They said they're treating it as a hate crime, though they're not sure that's what it is. And if it's not, I guess they'll, I don't know, reverse that, I guess, go back from that. Every crime's a hate crime, I guess, but I guess they're trying to say religious. Up to 100 police officers searched the mosque after the shooting reports. Security guard was killed in mosque shooting was pivotal in preventing more harm. And suspects appeared to have died from self-inflicted gunshot wounds. They were 17 and 19. Were they lovers or something? Were they ostracized from their community and parents? It's interesting, too, they put the hate crime in front. I mean, I guess they have to explore all possibilities. But usually it's like, don't jump to conclusions. Don't jump to conclusions. We'll decide after we investigate if that's what it is. But now it's like they're putting it in front. It's a hate crime until we say otherwise. Okay. Maybe it is. That's really weird. The mosque thing happens. They get a call for that. The shooting's there. They show up at the mosque. 3 people are outside of it, deceased. And as they were responding to that, then they receive a call from a couple of blocks away that they had more active gunfire. And officers were also responding to the mosque at the same time. A landscaper was shot at, but not hit. Is that related? What's up with that? Did they, on the way to the other location, just randomly shoot, hoping to buy themselves time for cops to respond to that? Then moments later, were called to another location where they found a vehicle in the middle of the street. So that chopper footage that we saw, I was wondering about that too. There was a vehicle in the middle of the street, but I wasn't sure if that was where the suspects were at, or did cops just get out of the, like, park there and run out? I guess that was the suspect's vehicle. They were called to another location where they found a vehicle in the middle of the street who we believe to be the shooters, both deceased. Odd. All right. Well, I appreciate you guys, man. Thank you for coming to hang out and watch. I will update when I can. Also, if you could follow the It Can Melt Clips page, my second YouTube page. Sometimes the updates I just post on there to keep this page free of notifications, like available notifications in case something happens, you know. And I'm also on Rumble. Follow me on Rumble as well. Backup page, Twitch, in case, you know. Sometimes they ding me and I get temp banned for 24 hours. Yeah, I think that's it. Appreciate you guys. Take care, man. Bye. Bloop, 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 bloop. Bloop, bloop, bloop.